Hello, parents. This is Mr. Herring's math class PowerPoint from Open House 2019. I am very sorry you guys couldn't make it to my classroom. So what I've done is I've pre-recorded the PowerPoint slideshow that I showed to the parents who were able to make it, and I posted this here on Schoology so that you can at least hear what I had to say and see what I showed the other parents. All right, so tonight we went over our agenda was the materials for my classroom, the objectives for the year, the interactive notebook and folders, some important websites. We didn't talk about Class Dojo. I haven't started that yet. We talked about graded work. I showed them Schoology, which was probably the most important thing. We discussed the STAR test dates, and then I took questions. And remember that if you have any questions on this, please, please, please feel free to email me, and I will try to answer them for you or get them answered for you. All right, so first things first, materials for my class are really simple. It's very important that students bring their interactive notebook and their math folder to class every day. I would love for them to have sharpened pencils. I don't like personal pencil sharpeners in my room. They really do make a mess, and I try to keep my room clean for our custodial staff. I have a sharpener in my room, and I also have buckets of sharpened pencils already. I would love for them to have scissors and glue sticks. I can't emphasize enough how important glue sticks are. Reason being, we do a lot of writing in our journals, and when you use wet glue, it takes a day or two for the glue to dry properly, and you can't write over the glue until it's completely dry. And so we do the writing in class. So if you bring glue sticks, we can write on it immediately. And the more they bring, the better off we'll be. If you ever want to donate anything to the class, please feel free to donate glue sticks. We use a lot of them. And I like for my students to keep notebook paper, clean notebook paper in their math folder at all times. All right. This year, our objectives, they aren't much different from other grade levels. We just kind of build on what they've learned. We are going to be working with decimals more in depth in fourth grade. We'll be adding, subtracting them. We're going to do multiplication, division of whole numbers with decimals. We are going to be doing all operations of fractions, adding, subtracting, dividing, multiplying. We will generate expressions and equations. We will represent and interpret data. That's like bar graphs or different types of graphs. Geometry, that's shapes and such, measurement. The big thing about measurement is conversions. And then we will have a unit on personal financial literacy this year. Let's talk a little bit about Math Interactive Notebook and the folders. They bring their Math Interactive Notebook to class every day, and as well as their folder. However, if for some reason, if your student doesn't bring their interactive notebook home with them, please know that on my Schoology page, I have a digital version of this that I will show you in just a few minutes, so that they can access that at home if they need their notes. Okay. In their math folder, on the left side of the folder, we keep our homework and a packet that we work on in class during the week called Mountain Math. That is not for the students to do at home. However, I do have a lot of high achievers sometimes, and they have learned that they can access the Mountain Math papers from home, and they like to work on it, and that's fine. Just know that it isn't mandatory. We do most of it or all of it in class. Um, the journal, I must say, is the most important tool for my classroom. We keep notes in there, they do their practice in there, so it's very important that they have that math journal or the math interactive notebook at school every single day. And so if you could please help me by making sure it's in their backpack before they come to school, I would greatly appreciate that. Some websites that you might want to familiarize with, extramath.org, we do in class on a daily basis. Mathfactcafe.com is a place for you personally. You can take your student there, but the student generally, it's not interactive in the way that the student can type the answers in all the time. You can go there and find activities to print, and there are lots of practice problems for them to use there. And later on this year, I'll be introducing Prodigy Math. Most of my kids are very familiar with that. They used it in the past at elementary school. But these websites are the ones I use mostly in my class, as well as you guys need to be most familiar with this Schoology. Graded work. I will accept any corrections, any and all corrections. I don't take off for late work, and I will allow students to correct anything that is below a 75. If a student does the work in class in front of me, I give them full credit. If they do it at home, the highest grade they can make is a 75. As far as tests go, students may retest. I just ask that they come to a tutorial section either before school or after school, and they make corrections from the original test, or they can come do the corrections and have you sign it and then bring the corrections into me before they retest. I do ask that a parent signs the test before they come in to do that retest. If you're not familiar with Home Access Center, I would greatly recommend, strongly recommend signing up for that. You can keep up with your students' grades in my class and other classes. So let's talk about Schoology. Schoology is the absolute most important tool that a parent and student can have for my classroom. Um, the students are automatically signed up. They know that their login is their CISD 1000 number. We've practiced this in class. They should be familiar with it. If they're having trouble, please email me and I will email you their number. For parents, you'll log into Schoology.com. You'll create an account. It'll ask you the school district and such. And if you don't have an account and when you go to create an account, if you need your child's course number, please email me and I can give that to you so that you can also log in. Honestly, the Schoology page is more for the students. The parents can see everything that they need to off the student page. If you know, when your child logs in or have them log in, look at their page, you can see everything that you need to see. You don't necessarily have to have your own account, but some parents prefer their own account, and that's reasonable. My email address is fherring@csisd.org. So please email me any questions. I want to show you really quickly about Schoology. This is kind of what the students see when they log on. The two most important things on my Schoology page. First of all, your child's Schoology page will look something like this after they open my math section. Now you can see these folders here are all of my math materials. Okay, I've got some class information. I've got the weekly newsletters are to come. They're not up yet. I put my unit test review answer keys on here. I post my homework for the week on here. I've got another section for my class that gives you some more information about my class, and then the math interactive notebook. So the first thing that your students are you're probably going to notice your students working on is this folder right here, which is the mountain math photos. This is done in class, but some students, like I said, like to go home and play with it. So if they open that folder by clicking that blue folder, they're going to get this list of activities. Now, sometimes your student may say they lost their mountain math packet. If ever that happens, from home, you guys can click on this PDF file, and it's exactly what we use in class. And then each one of these are numbered by weeks. Next week, we are starting with week number 2, but this is the photo. If they click on that photo, it opens the picture and they can answer all the questions on this template from using those photos. Okay. The second, and we've practiced this in class, the second most important piece is the interactive notebook. This is extremely vital for my class. So if a student, and sometimes students will go home and watch the video before they actually come to school, which is a great thing. In class, the students are sometimes able to watch the videos as well. The videos are actually my lesson that I do in class. So when you click on that folder, it's going to open the 5th grade digital journal. Now when you click on this link, what it does is open a version of my math interactive journal. This is the table of contents that your child will have in their journal as well. If you notice that these over here are all in blue, that's because they are hyperlinks. When a student needs to review one of the lessons from class, if they click on one of these hyperlinks, it takes them directly to my YouTube channel where they can watch the video from the day. These are extremely important. I've got some students who are practicing the flipped classroom model. They come into class and they watch the video on their own, and then they see me at the end of class to ask questions. A lot of students like to go home and watch the video to review what we did in class. One of the biggest benefits from this, if you know your child's going to be out for that day, this is a great place to go and look and have your child watch that video. And so they don't fall too far behind. They can watch the video, click on the homework link, the homework folder, and get the homework from the day if they want to, and kind of practice that. I actually had a student already do this year. He was absent on a Monday. He walked in on Tuesday with his homework. He understood the lesson. He watched the video a couple of times and did a fabulous job. So I can't emphasize enough just how important this interactive math journal is. And again, when you click on this, you can scroll down. You'll see all of our notes that are also attached as well. So please, please, please support your student by having them visit this and use it as much as they possibly need. So that's going to wrap up everything for the interactive notebook and the Schoology page. Hack, which is the Home Access Center, this is where you'll go and sign up for grade checks. You can log in and see your child's grades at school. There are a lot of notifications you can receive at the Home Access Center. You can kind of customize what you see and how you're notified. If a child falls below a certain grade level, if they grade number average, if they get a certain grade on a paper, those kind of things. But the Home Access Center is extremely important, and from the CSISD homepage, you can find Hack, and you can create an account if you don't have one, and it's super simple. Just follow the directions. The updated link down here for Schoology is also connected through Hack. You can access that as well. They can be linked, which is a really good thing. The STAR math dates this year, our first administration will take place April 9th. A second administration will be in May 13th. And then our third administration over the summer will be June 25th. That would be that last opportunity for the student to show demonstration of mastery of 5th grade math that summer date. So I know it was really quick. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to email me. I will answer them as soon as I possibly can. And please support us by having your child visit that Schoology page as often as possible and as often as needed. Hope you guys have a great evening. I'm really looking forward to a great year. And thanks a lot for being a part of my math class. Have a great evening.